What's up? You already know what time it is. I'm just wearing all the gear today. Didn't do my hair. Another reason to put this hat on and rep the team that has been proving all the doubters wrong. What's up, people? A lot of you watched the last college football playoff that I did, so I made it a point to make sure that I did another one. And I hope you enjoy this one as well, because I'm going to talk some shit. Okay? So, it's the first game on the slate, and it just happens to be my team. And I'm just going to let you know right now that people didn't think Miami should have been in this position. And guess what? They beat that SEC team that I saw multiple people talking about. Oh, they've never been in College Station. Well, College Station's never faced the Miami Hurricanes either. And that just goes to show you it doesn't matter what conference you're in, you can have a really good team and make an impact, except for those JMU and Tulane teams, because I absolutely did not think that they deserved to be in there, even though you're going to have the people say, oh, but they won their conference championship. Doesn't matter. Not the best team. Not the best team. Plain and simple. So we're going to get on after it because Texas A&M, you guys talked a little bit of stuff, and Ruben Bain decided he was going to have 2.5, 3 sacks, 7 sacks total. And I don't think that anybody predicted that. And Arch Manning just took this to the house here in the Citrus Bowl. That's Eli in the stands with a cowboy hat. What is going on? So I'm watching the Texas and Michigan game as well, and Arch Manning just had a 60-yard touchdown. 60 yards. Let's get back on topic. So Texas A&M Miami played in College Station. You had winds up to 30 miles an hour. It affected the game in all aspects. Yeah, you're going to say Miami's passing game was terrible, 120 yards or something like that. Well, Marcel Reed had a 60-yard pass. Why couldn't Carson Beck and the Hurricanes offense do that, huh? Well, let me just tell you that the one deep pass that he had was strictly luck, because that ball was torpedoing in all directions. And last second, it happened to meet his hands at the right spot. Never happened again. Okay, so point proven. Never happened again. And both quarterbacks in this game played not to turn the ball over. It was so obvious that was their mindset. And the Hurricanes had a game plan for this weather, mainly because that's the identity the Hurricanes want to have, is smash mouth football, because you're going to wear teams down, and that's exactly what happened. And if you don't believe me, the last drive Miami scored on, they got the ball and ran it right down their throat. Had a long run in that, but you ran the ball and you scored on a run play essentially, but it was considered a pass because it was tossed forward to Malachi. How do you Miami dominated Texas A&M, plain and simple. Yeah, it's only 10-3. And yeah, you can say Texas A&M dominate. No, Miami missed 3 field goals. I believe it was. Malachi Tony should have had a punt return for a touchdown. He got barely tripped up. So if you just want to add that, we'll have 17 and 2 field goals. The one he missed where it got blowed last second to the right, and the one that hit off the upright. 6 more points. It's 23-3. Texas A&M, even if you give them their field goals, that was it. Miami dominated that game. Going into this Ohio State game, Ohio State faced Indiana. Indiana does not have a D-line or offensive line like the Miami Hurricanes. Plain and simple. Ohio State better bring their A game. They better. They've been off 24 days, I believe, as they said. Miami's been off 10 or 11, and they're hungry. They're here to prove people wrong. Ohio State's got the Championship hangover, maybe? Who knows? But their last game they lost. And Miami's here to prove a point. Weather's not going to be a factor. You're in the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. You're going to put Miami's physical specimens versus Ohio State's physical specimens. And the only one for Ohio State that's that big of a specimen is Jeremiah Smith. I think Miami's got more talented players that you should be afraid of than Ohio State does. Now, you could see somebody jump out because I guarantee Miami is going to take away Jeremiah Smith. Guarantee. And if Julian Sand thinks he's going to sit back there and throw all day, he's going to be sadly mistaken. And if he does, holy cow. I'm going to be absolutely shocked because now, believe it or not, Miami showed you that they're in this. They're built in the right places to win games. And they are going to bring it versus Ohio State. Going to bring it. Not many people are talking too much about Miami. Today, going into this game, before 12 p.m., Ohio State was a 9.5 favorite. 9.5 point favorite. And then all of a sudden, start getting a little bit closer to game time. People start changing their minds. We now have a 7.5 point favorite for Ohio State. So, something happened. Somebody finally put their big boy pants on and realized that maybe this shouldn't even be 7.5. I would say just give Ohio State a 3-point favorite in this. Just because they're considered the home team and they've been here before. And Miami's not been here in 20 years. Okay? Well, all I can say is that it is not going to be even close to this. I think, just my opinion, because it's my team, and I'm repping them pretty hard right now. And I'm going to stand on business, too, if we get our asses kicked, because we don't deserve to be here. So, I'm just going to say this. If your team wasn't in the college football playoffs, you can just shut your mouth. Plain and simple. If your team is in it, and they go farther than Miami, hey, all due respect, you guys deserve to be there. And we lost. Plain and simple. Now, how we lose, I really would hate for officials to get involved in this game and affect the outcome to some extent. Because we already know what happened 20 years ago. Tracy Porter, whatever the hell his name is, something Porter. But everybody knows who that guy is. Let's not allow the officials to determine the outcome of this game, plain and simple. Let's have a clean game, but by golly, let's get after it, man. Let's get after it. It's what college football is all about. You already know who I'm going with. It's all about the U. All right, next up, we have the Oregon Ducks taking on Texas Tech. And Texas Tech is a pretty damn good team this year. Now, Oregon's favored by -2.5. I'm not picking favorites in this. I'm just picking head-up winners because I'm doing NFL picks against the spread. And holy cow, how many times have I been jacked on these spreads being 10-plus points? And, now college football's got playoffs. And, they're still hanging around 6 and 7 points majority of these games. I don't understand it. I really don't. Now, Ole Miss versus Georgia, I can see why you have that spread there. They don't have their head coach, and Kirby Smart's won national championships. He's going to make his team be prepared no matter what. Ole Miss, on the other hand, you don't have Lane Kiffin. You don't have the brains of the operation. Now, you have all the working parts there, but the absolute brains of this operation that kind of molded what Ole Miss is not there. And I don't know what that's going to take away from them, but when we get to that, I'll talk a little bit about it more. But Texas Tech, Oregon's got to play 10 days ago. Texas Tech has just been hanging around. And in my opinion, these 4 teams that did not play for 20 plus days, that's tough. That is absolutely tough. You're going to come off almost a month of no games, just practice, to then just live bullets being fired at you. And hey, it could be good, it could be bad. But I expect the teams being off for this long going to have some type of effect on them. And the teams that have played in recent weeks may be a little bit more quicker to the punch to begin with. Now, that does not mean that these teams that have been off are not going to come back in the second half, but it's a possibility. Oregon, Texas Tech. I mean, I I like Oregon. I really do. I like Dan Lanning. I really think Oregon's turned their identity around to be a really good defensive team and flying around fast. Offense has stayed there, not what it used to be, but Dante Moore is really good, really, really good. But Texas Tech feels like they are an all-around team, and they don't look like your years past Texas Tech, where you're a high-powered offense and you outscore a lot of teams. They're not that. They're good on both sides of the ball. Um, and just because typically you'd pick Oregon, they are the 2.5 favorite. I'm just going to pick Texas Tech to win this one straight up. I like them. I like their colors, but I like Oregon's too. Give me Texas Tech. Alabama versus Indiana. Indiana's got the Heisman Trophy winner in Mendoza. Alabama played a really good game against Oklahoma, and they probably have the second toughest match coming into the first round of the playoffs, either being Miami, because I don't think Tulane and JMU deserve to be there. Alabama, they're they're a little different. They've got a different identity to them with their coach now. Nick Saban not being there. I'm drawing a blank on his name, but it's going to hit me here soon. I don't know what you call it with Alabama, but you don't have that stigma or that how you want to feel how do you want to say it? That presence of oh shit, it's Alabama. It's a little different now, but still a really good team. I believe Kirk Cincinnati has Indiana on a snowball and it's headed downhill fast. They are building towards something big. Now, I'm picking Indiana in this, but I think they might start slow, which could be a problem for Indiana. But I like Indiana to win straight up. They're -7 favorite. I'm not picking that spread because just like I said, I think they'll win, or I would pick them to win. Their offense is a little bit more consistent, high powered. I don't know how their line is going to match up with Alabama. I know their O line, D line really did a good job against Ohio State, but you have the FCC line, and they're bigger and better, and they put out all the NFL talent. So Indiana, I'd like to see how that starts in this game to see if they can get the run game going. If they can, they're probably going to get to the pass game, and I'd just like to see how they hold up against this Alabama pass rush. Going to be a tight game, I think, but I think Indiana's just got a little bit more firepower than Alabama does, just in my opinion. Alabama, though, it's going to be a tough one. Gonna be a tough one, but I like to take Alabama. All right. I've talked about it a little bit. I like that these games are not in their respective states, mainly because of weather affecting what you can and can't do. Like you're a good passing team. Now you just can't pass the ball. Okay. Good running team. Now that's all you're doing. No play action pass. Makes you still one dimensional. I very interested in to see how offenses produce because I believe the game in the Rose Bowl, which, if I'm not mistaken, which game is in the Rose Bowl here? Calm down, people. All right, yeah, Alabama, Indiana. So I heard the weather's not the greatest there. You're going to have Georgia and Ole Miss in New Orleans, and of course you have Texas Tech and Oregon in Miami, and weather's great, absolutely great. Hey, and if you want to go to one of these games, Miami and Ohio State's only $29. Isn't that crazy? Because I looked at tickets and they were not that much. I don't know what's happening. Got to be an upsell somewhere. But let's get back to it. Ole Miss, Georgia. They've already played once this season. Georgia won. They outlasted Ole Miss. I'm not sure what I'm expecting, but I just like the underdog in this, and I want to see Ole Miss get a little bit farther than anticipated, mainly because Lane Kiffin's not there now, and I think people expect him to just fall off. So I'm picking Ole Miss in this, but I think Georgia's probably just going to do exactly what they need to do. They're going to be able to run the ball. They're going to be dominant up front on both sides. I think Ole Miss may have some issues, but Ole Miss is going to have a lot of fight in them. And I think Ole Miss being the underdog, they're going to play balls to the wall. And this is a scenario to where not having the home team actually playing in their home is going to be a somewhat advantage because you're going to have a neutral site. So don't really have the home field advantage. It's going to be loud both ways. And with that being said, I've had a lot of fun talking college football. This was a fairly short episode this time because we've only got 4 games. 4 games. And when these get done, it's going to be some really tight matchups in round 3. I don't even know where you could go wrong with who you think would win or lose in the round 3 of games. But there's my picks. I've got Miami beating Ohio State, Texas Tech beating Oregon, Indiana beating Alabama, and Ole Miss somehow, some way beating Georgia. And wow, what can I say? I'm getting jacked for this. I just got these shirts in, and nobody from Dime Life's gonna hear this podcast, but I'm just gonna talk a little bit about it. How I have a lot of their stuff. A lot of it's been gifted to me, and I've bought some things. It's been the worst customer service experience that you could have possibly had. Um, Mainly because nobody gets back to you, and I mean, nobody responded to me till the other day via email. I actually had to get on the Instagram and message Dime Life, and it took them over a week to get back to me, and all of a sudden said they're gonna file an insurance claim and send a replacement order. Right? They don't communicate, or they're just really poor at it, and no matter what you say or do, this is what they're doing. Emails me back now, not on Instagram, proceeds to tell me, sorry for this, we've refunded your order. I don't want to refund the order. I bought the shirts at a price that you're not selling them for, which is 50% off. 25% off doesn't make up for it. 50% off, so unless you're going to resell them to me at 50% off, I don't want you to refund my order. I want you to send me another shipment because it got lost is what happened. And USPS sucks too. They really, really suck. Let me just tell you that. Nobody got back to me in 1 to 3 days. And after I contacted them, they told me to wait 2 to 3 more business days. And I said, why? I've already waited. That's why I'm calling you. And I said, so you mean to tell me I need to wait? And he says, I've contacted them. It's going to take 2 to 3 days for them to get back to you. What is going on here, man? I've already filed a claim and nobody's got back to me. Now I'm calling. I don't need you to file another claim. I need you to find my package. Well, lo and behold, I got a refund and got these shirts in. So when I do round 3 playoffs, I'll have the white shirt on next time. It's a nostalgia tee, and it'll be great. But hey, I got my stuff and got a full refund, but I was supposed to have these December 9th. We already know what day it is. It's December 31st, okay? I was supposed to have this shirt on last game, and I didn't have it. So, I hope everybody has a great New Year's. Stay safe. I'm about to be lit, okay? At 7:30, I'm going to be so locked in. Well, I got to grill first, but I'm going to be I'm already getting goosebumps thinking about it. I was talking to somebody today, and I had like a 60 minutes per beat resting heart rate, and it jumped to 82 beats per minute just because I was talking about this. So that doesn't tell you something. I don't know what does, but during the Texas A&M game, at one point in time, I have pictures to prove it. I had a 143 resting heart rate watching the game, and that was on the final drive that Miami intercepted the ball to seal the game. Whew. All right. If you haven't already, you already know what to do. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Get me some more views. I'm going to continue to put up college football content. It's really hard in the regular season with all the teams, but for future endeavors, I'm going to be doing the top 25 teams, and in my team, of course, the Hurricanes. And if there's somebody you want to hear, want me to talk about, I'll do that, because this is just all strictly opinion based, and there is no hard feelings in this at all. And this is fun for me, so I hope it's fun for you when you listen and you hear what I'm talking about, and just know that it's me talking ball, because it's how I talk ball all the time. Thank you all. You already know what time it is. It's all about the you. So go ahead and put your Canes gear on. Get ready. We're about 45 minutes away from kickoff. And when you hear this, the game's probably already going to be over. Or you may not even get to this point. But guess what? It don't matter, because if you listen to the beginning, you heard me talk about my team. All right? All right, y'all. It's all about the you. Later.